I went to school with him. He was a younger classmate, so we just recently started talking back again. And I work midnight, so I kind of suck at texting. Last time he texted me was Friday. Then when I was at work when I got off of work Saturday, I seen everybody posting rest in peace on Facebook. So I went and watched his live. I'm like, how could you be dead that fast and you just texted me yesterday? And I seen he had some glasses on, the buff, and I'm like, I hope it wasn't for the glasses, because that's the only thing I could think, like, he don't do nothing else, he don't be in trouble. So I'm like, what was it? Then the news report finally came out. Somebody tried to snatch his buffs. They didn't get him. They shot him in the stomach, and they took him to the hospital, and he died in the hospital. It's a lot to process, because I feel like you just took somebody's life for some glasses and you didn't even get them. And not even that, I feel like he still could have been here. I do feel like they probably left him in the hospital for 5 hours, because they said he was shot in the stomach and he was stable at the scene. So what caused him not to be stable when he got to the hospital? Did they leave him there for 5 hours like they left me? So it hurts to think about it. Then I'm like, sometimes I wonder, like, why he here? Why he not here and I am? What's the difference between me? I actually told my mom, like, I wanted to do a mentoring group for females my age and younger, so they can not end up in the situation I am, like chasing after the dudes and want to be up under your boyfriend all the time. Like, you really need to do like a background search and find out what your boyfriend is into, because it's a lot of girls my age that's getting shot and taking bullets for their boyfriend. Like on Facebook, a girl just got shot in the head, I believe. They said she was brain dead and she was with her boyfriend too. And I just sit there and think, like, that could have been me. If I was in the car, any other position, it could have hit my head, because the side they shot up, it was my side. The whole side was like bullet holes everywhere. And I still think to myself, how am I walking? How am I able to move my arm? Like, it's just a lot, and I don't want to see nobody else going through it.
First, unfortunately, the story that you shared is something that is common. And I think Just Speak, as a nonprofit, but then having 3 umbrella programs, Out Loud, Healthy Play, Safe Touch, and Move, address ages 3 to 18 in a way that assumes that there is trauma. We're not, as an organization, thinking that that's something that's not occurring, or it is kind of the after effect, or like an intervention is prevention. We assume that every child has had some sort of traumatic experience, whether that is gun violence, whether it is sexual assault, whether it is divorce or having an incarcerated parent, because trauma is something that is very it's very subjective. It's up to the person, especially when we're talking about young people. So I think in that light, young people appreciate that, like, we see them. We're looking for them. We ask the right questions, being naturally curious. And then the program itself, the organization itself, is designed so that it is teaching resiliency. It's teaching you social emotional growth by dealing with your feelings. Well, what are feelings? You know, what am I allowed to feel? Okay, I'm angry, but how is angry like acceptable, and how does that show up for me? So I think it provides that safe space where, you know, you can come in as raggedy as you are, especially when you're talking about the MOVE program, where it is body-centered, it's movement-centered, and you can allow yourself to feel. And I think young people aren't always, people in general, up for the talking, but kinesthetic, sensory motor skill, that's something that we all understand. When we're moving around or when we're able to express things artistically, it's better for our brains. It's better than anything, any kind of conversation we could have, because we might not have the words yet. And I think that's the first building block that Just Speak presents. It gives you the vocabulary. It gives young people the vocabulary to be able to sympathize with themselves and then other people.
I think 2012 or 11, I lost my brother because he was trying to help somebody in the gas station. And then it was some young cats, and they was just talking crazy. So my brother was like, y'all don't even got to do all that. We could just leave, settle it. They took it to the next level, killed him. They was shooting at his car while he was driving. He ran into a pole. He died. That left me, my sister, his kids. It left all of us messed up. Like 2010, 9, I was hooping. I was out hooping late. So I seen somebody that was like a big homie to me. So he came over, we was just talking. I was still hooping and everything. And then he was like, all right, y'all, I'll catch y'all later. So he walked off. I'm still hooping. I made it home. And then next thing I know, my sister come in the room, waking me up, talking about Delenzo dead. I'm like, what you, stop playing with me, dog. She talking about, for real, he died. I was like, how? They was like, somebody killed him. I was like, wow. And I was just talking to him, you feel me? And it's like, what could I have done, you feel me? Like, maybe I should have asked him to run up a game in 21. Something like that. But after people die, it's always something that comes towards you that make it feel like it's kind of your fault. But you gotta live with everything that happened. There's not nothing you can do about it. Like, the world changing. It's changing fast too. So going the extra mile, that's still not enough. It's not. Because people, you give people a mile, they take longer than that. And it's like, how much more are you gonna take from me? You feel me? Because I tried everything. I tried with everybody. I gave everybody chances. And they always showed me why I shouldn't have gave them that chance.
My name is Dr. Angela Celeste May, M-A-Y, like the month I always say. I am a clinical, organizational, and forensic psychologist, which basically means the clinical is what you usually think of when you think of psychology, which is the therapy, the doing treatment, those kinds of things. So that's one part of my background. Organizational psychology, it basically just means taking my expertise in understanding behavior and applying it to the work world and the business world, helping people do, work better with each other, supervisor to employee, etc. And then the forensic part of my background, that basically means that I take my expertise in human behavior and applying it to people in the judicial system who have been adjudicated or whether they've been found guilty or not, but they're at some point in the process of going through the judicial and court system. Children too often who are exposed to violent behavior, they lose the opportunities, not always, but oftentimes, to develop empathy for other people, really being able to see the world through other people's eyes, and having a real strong, healthy sense of empathy for others is a part of our humanity, is a part of what makes us human and humane. And that is also something that I see when you see kids acting out of their own pain and they think it's funny or cute to inflict pain on someone else. That is a lack of empathy. And so that's something else that we work on also. I would say definitely know your history, know your history, know your history. The more we can share our history with our kids, which we should be doing anyway, passing that history along. The people like Mary McLeod, I'm saying her name wrong, Bethune. I'm so sorry. People like Ida B. Wells, who's an amazing writer and freedom fighter. Like to know our history, to see the amazing things we as a people have done. And realize that helping them to see you're a part of this legacy. So I think that teaching and passing along our history is a huge part of helping with that. I think another thing that would really helps is, like you say, this individual, well, I'm just doing for me, to speak in terms of the we even more often, to make that like kind of part of the conversation, that we lift each other up. And then also, the way I was raised, I'm the youngest of 3 kids, and the way we were raised was you represent God first, you represent your family second, and then you represent yourself as well. So that tying that self-esteem to a legacy and a history that goes back farther than your uncle, and also to say, as well, to speak of it in terms of, you're better than that, and he's actually better than that. He may not know he's better than that, but you know what, grandpa's better, or whoever was sold the drugs, that's unfortunate. You don't want to put them down, but it's unfortunate that they did that, because they were really brilliant and they could do so much more, but you could do even more. Always tying to legacy, our history, and to speak in terms of not just that you could be more, but in the present, you are more than that. You are, worth more than that, and you can do more than that.